Hi everyone, I have a serious case of dry mouth. It's first thing in the morning, slept in, done some yoga, but anyway, today is going to be a daily vlog of life working in lockdown basically, because we don't have long left and I thought it'd be interesting to do one. And to be frank, I'm quite frankly running out of ideas because this has been going on for far too long and there's only so much you can do at home. So basically today is going to be a summary of kind of what it's like to work at home, and that's about it really. It's exactly how you think this is going to go. So to begin the day, I've already been up maybe, I want to say an hour or so, and I always start, get up, regret getting up, then maybe sleep in a little. It's the problem with lockdown is because there's not really much of a reason to get up at the moment, is I tend to sleep in a little bit, which is not good at all, especially if you want to be productive. But anyway, from there I then go and do some yoga, depending on how much time I've got. I might do a 40-minute session, 20-minute session, worst case scenario a 10-minute session, something to get the blood flowing, you know, and then jump in the shower. So I've already done them and nobody really wants to see me doing them anymore, and nobody wants to see this belly in the shower. So I skipped all that out and we're going to get straight to the good part of the morning, which is breakfast. At the moment I'm having to do this in a mug because I keep forgetting to buy a bowl. I don't actually own any mixing bowls. The only normal bowls I own are squares, so it's not exactly great for whisking. Oh yes, no, I am not going to down this. Absolutely no way. The eggs look rank. Right, best part of the day, the breakfast. What I'm obsessed with at the moment is spinach omelette, grilled asparagus, grilled tomato, then apples with peanut butter on top. And it's just so good. It just makes me actually excited to get up. I need a lot to convince me to get out of bed. And this is a very good place to start. So the book I'm reading at the moment, I always tend to try and read in the mornings at the moment, just because I can't go to the gym. So I'm reading the history of, I think it's the history of nearly everything. I think that's what it's called. It's a good book. It's kind of good for people who are curious. Gives you a little bit of information about everything without being too technical, and it's a good read. I thoroughly recommend it. So I'm going to smash through this right now, and it's going to be fast forwarded so that we don't have to deal with it. So that will start in 3, 2, 1. Well, that was ace. I feel recharged. I guess it's time to get started. Right, so because we are now at work, obviously we don't get free money now. If we want to pay those bills, we need to do some work. So probably most of the morning, I'll just be sitting here on the computer doing what might look like absolutely nothing, because let's face it, desk jockeys are always desk jockeys. So anyway, this transition is going to start in 3, 2, 1. Right, okay, now we're halfway through the morning and it's snack time. Oh yeah! So snack time basically consists of a protein shake and this weird sort of antioxidant mix. For some reason it's actually called antioxidant nut mix, and basically it's tiny little chunks of dark chocolate along with a mixture of pumpkin seeds, cashews, almonds, then I think it's dried blueberries and goji berries. So it's a lot of antioxidants. That's the word. And basically the idea is, yeah, just full of antioxidants, full of good proteins and all the other nice stuff that comes with seeds and nuts. Tiny little hit of sweetness from the chocolate, but overall it gives a nice satisfying crunch without shoving all the calories into it. Right, so for the protein shake, basically just a little bit of creatine or whatever it is, and almond milk. It's quite good, quite nice. Gets additional vitamin D in here, especially because we're still not allowed to be outside all day every day, so need to pump up those vitamin D levels. Right, give this another wee shake. I'm going to enjoy this, eat this, drink that, answer some more emails, and then I'll see you at lunchtime. And we're back. It is now lunchtime. Now, unfortunately, I didn't prepare very much for lunch. I forgot to do any prep or anything, so I'm having some sardines on toast because yes, I am a psychopath, and a big bowl of veggies, which is basically just spinach, carrots, what else? Peppers, tomatoes, and a little bit of avocado. And that's basically it for lunchtime. So I'm going to demolish this. So we'll do a time lapse in 3, 2, 1. Right, and we're back. Now, obviously I could film about food all day, every day, and that could be what it's about. But this was supposed to be in the day of the life of working at home. So I'm personally quite lucky because I work at a desk all day. So because we have a lot of remote servers at work, it means as long as I have my laptop and I can get a Wi-Fi connection, I can work just about anywhere in the world if I wanted to, which obviously has its advantages. Obviously the disadvantage is majority of the time you are just sitting there staring at a screen, but that's about 90% of jobs now. So I'm quite lucky because my mornings usually consist of just responding to emails, battering them back and forth, but being a project engineer, a lot of mine is about getting projects set up and ready for operating personnel to take them over. So a lot of my work revolves around basically battering forth emails, getting folders and lots of information prepared for clients, doing the odd technical drawing, and basically lining the work up so that when it comes to D-Day and the work commences, the actual physical work commences, everything's aligned for it to go smoothly start to finish. So mornings, generally emails, a couple of things, some budget and cost things, and then the afternoon, kind of more the same. I try to keep a lot of the less thought out work. That doesn't make sense. The less strainful work. So whether that's doing a basic drawing or just following on a couple of actions, I generally leave them for the afternoon or even a couple of meetings because they generally require less thought. So obviously I'm really productive up until lunchtime. I'm definitely a morning worker, and in the afternoon I have this lull where I just feel like I'm going to sleep all afternoon, and then I get a second wind just about dinner time. So I try to do all the strenuous top line tasks, the biggest ones of the day in the morning, and then I kind of do the more similar, touch up on stuff, get stuff done, if there's the odd tail end of some other work, get that done in the afternoon. That's basically ideally how I would like to work all the time. Doesn't always go to plan, but that's generally how it goes. So I guess what's the time now? I guess we've had long enough. I think it's time to get back to it. Right, okay, so that's half the afternoon done. We're on to snack number 2, which is basically just protein shake and a banana. The reason I kind of try to keep these around is because I tend to get very snacky very quickly, and that's how my calories go up. So this increases my satiety quite a bit, so having one of these at a set time, I know I can hold off until then before I eat anything. And then once I've had the protein shake, usually I won't feel too hungry afterwards. So it's a good way of trying to keep that calorie amount low. That's basically it. Also, I'm really scrawny, so I need to get the calories. I need to get the protein in, pump up those muscles a wee bit so I'm not as skinny, but that's unfortunately not happening at the moment because we're in lockdown. Right, okay, that's me done for the day. So I did put a transition here of a time lapse of me basically working at a desk. I did the first one. I thought it'd be really boring if most of the video was just those time lapses, because it would just be a case of me just sitting there typing, not really moving. It seems like a waste of time, so we're not doing that. But that's the work day over. So the only difference is really in the working day, if I was say working at the office, would be I'd have to physically drive there at the start of the day and drive home at the end of the day. But the beauty of working at home is when you're finished, you literally just get out of your seat and that's you home. It's ace, it's great. It's one of the few things I actually love about working at home, is you don't have to try and get home, you're just there, done. The only thing though is it does take a while to switch off. Usually that drive home, even for me, it's only 10-15 minutes. It's enough to reset your mind frame and get you ready to go to somewhere else, which is home. And that separation in the brain really helps, whereas when you're at home and everything's all in the one place, especially with me in this tiny little flat, it can kind of feel like you never get away from it sometimes. So with working at home, what I try to do in the evenings where possible, I don't mind starting earlier in the morning, but at least in the evenings, I like to try and finish on time. I don't really like to, I'll go over a little bit, but I don't like to go ridiculously over. And it's not because I'm trying to be lazy or anything. It's more because with everything going on, I want to make sure my mindset is right for this. Before I went on furlough, I was doing kind of all hours trying to get certain projects across the line, especially with everything that was happening so quickly, so soon and so suddenly with the whole situation at the moment. I found that I thought I was doing okay until I went on furlough, got some time to recharge the batteries, and I kind of realised it wasn't a great lifestyle, kind of working all those hours at home beforehand, and it just starts to play on your mind a bit. So I've come back, I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling fresh mentally, and the idea is I want to try and keep that freshness, you know, that kind of feeling after a holiday. I know it wasn't a holiday, but with any sort of time off, that kind of freshness you get, and just to really take that forward and try and make it last as long as possible. So the idea is that the evenings, I gotta make sure for me, or if you're out there, you and your family time spent together, to just really get on with what you enjoy rather than just grinding through something that just in the long run will just run you down mentally. Because who knows when you can next take a holiday. That's the thing. If you're relatively fresh, try and keep it that way for as long as possible. Also, that noise is me playing with a tape measure I just found. I'm easily distracted. So the only differences really between today's working day and the rest of my working days at home so far is usually at lunchtime, instead of sitting here having lunch, I would usually go out and try and there's a nice 3-mile circuit run next to the beach where I'm quite close to. So I usually try and do that, breaks the day up a wee bit and utilises my chance to get out of the house once a day. And then after I've finished work, on the days where I haven't gone out for a run, I'll either try and do a bit of skipping, because obviously you can do that on the spot, you don't need so much space, or I would try to do some working out at home. The good news is I still have my pull-up bar, but I've also stolen those little dingy weights I bought as a teenager that I left at my folks' place. They've been sitting there probably 10-15 years, I want to say at least. But I brought them back with me, so at least I can start to do a little bit of resistance training. Obviously, the actual weightage isn't there, but you know, it's better than nothing. Quite frankly, if you have at least one piece of exercise equipment, you're doing better than about 90% of the people out there. So I would do that in the evening, and then if I haven't been out, go for a nice long walk, which I might do right now because that sun is looking spot on. It's about 17 degrees here at the moment, and that's basically the evening. I might get some dinner in me. I'm in the mood to get dinner in me first, and then I'm gonna go out, and then that's day over. Done.